driving the tournament?
We're in the talks of making it. We had a lot of fun doing that last year, supporting them. So, I mean, I hope so. Hope we're there. So, I'm sure you'll hear us if you're there.
I think you're a four-time All-Star, maybe.
Four-time, yep.
Yeah, four-time. So, very likely you'll be in the pool this year, and someone's going to pick sides. And just what do you think of all these All-Star?
I like the format. I think it mixes it up. I think in some way it'll make it more competitive, and also, be interesting to see who picks who. It isn't a elite fraternity in this league. I think it's the two leading vote getters from both sides, right? And then they'll be picking their teammates or their boys, and it'll be like out on the blacktop in grade school back in the day. So it'll be fun.
So if Steph and Kyrie were available, who do you think LeBron would take?
Ooh, it depends on how far he's picked. Because he's going to pick. We talked about peanut butter and jelly this week, and maybe the banana boat guys. So we'll see what happens. So no, I know that he'll have some fun with it. If he wants to, he has a future in this league of being, on that side of basketball operations, and I imagine he put together a hell of a team. So, it just depends. If we need shooting, both guys are there. If we need ball handling, distributing, both guys are there. That's tough. That's a toss-up for me.
Did you think a change was needed?
Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
Good. Do you think a change was needed?
Yeah. I mean, I think if you just look at the sheer numbers this year from somebody can help me out. It was like a quarter of the All-Stars from the Eastern Conference from last year's team went to the West. So, maybe that had something to do with it, but I know at least at the league offices that they were in talks of changing it in some way, and that came up, for the last, several years. So it's, something that had been talked about. So this is something that they're toying with, and I think it makes it fun.
I think last year they scored 192, 180.
A lot of defense, yeah.
And then the record has been set every year going back like the last 7. And Kyrie suggested at the end of last year's game that he wished people would play harder and be more serious in this game. Do you think players will do that, and do you think this change would precipitate more effort, especially on defense?
Yeah, I don't know, because it is so much for the fans, and I'm sure they come to see all the highlights. So I guess a guy like Draymond getting 5 defensive stops in a row in an All-Star game isn't really going to show up on the highlight reel, and it's I don't know. It'll be interesting to see, but I know for the guys that are in it and playing and choosing the teams and depending on what team they end up on, I'm sure it'll be a little fun playing an All-Star game where you wouldn't have ended up on this guy's team in years past. So I don't know if it'll make it more competitive.
In the games that you played in the All-Star game, when guys did play defense, in their rare instances that they did, were they admonished because of that, because they were preventing the spectacular?
No, I forget where we were. It might have been, I don't know if it was Orlando or New Orleans, but I remember the West, we were up, double digits late or midway through the fourth, and the East started putting the clamps on, and we missed some shots. They got some turnovers, so that made the game super exciting. So I think so long as it comes down to being tight and close in the fourth quarter, I think that makes it very fun, where it becomes a couple possession game, which is what happened, and the East ended up winning. I think Kyrie was even MVP that year. So that was a really fun game to be a part of and super competitive.
The NBA GMs, they have their survey every single year, and this year it was released today. One of the interesting things that they said, you were talking about the balance of power in the East and the West, one of the things that they voted on is that the change that they could see in the future coming is playoff seeding, changing the way that is done.
Getting rid of that format as far as like East and West as well? So same thing, the best record throughout?
How would you feel about that? Do you think that would be something that would be helpful?
So, I mean, I think as far as logistics go, that would be, a little harder, but, and that's never happened before. You've never done that? I don't know. I don't know how. I make it a little tougher for us, but no, I think everybody wants to see, I guess, parity, continuity, balance, and just we talk about competition. Everybody wants to compete, so yeah. I mean, we know that the West is fully loaded. I mentioned all the players going there. Teams continuing to get better, adding new guys, getting a year older with the team that they're with. So I don't know if that happens, so be it. But as of right now, it's an interesting concept.
The GM's also picked LeBron to win MVP. How do you think your guys' offseason moves may contribute to this championship?
Well, I know from years past that I damn well better pick LeBron as MVP. No, no. I mean, every year he's the guy that you would look at and say, he's right at the top, best player, best athlete in the world. So. He's going to come in and do the same thing, lead this team. We got a bunch of new guys, a bunch of new faces, but at the end of the day, that's not going to change the way he goes about his business. But like every year, especially this year, just how he looks, how he feels. I think he definitely has a great shot, but that's not groundbreaking. So he's gonna come out and be LeBron James.
When you talked to us, I think it was over the weekend. Did you know then that you were going to be the center this year?
Probably not really. I knew that I'd be playing some 5, but I didn't know. I mentioned with all the turnover in our lineup, if I would be starting at the 4 or at the 5. They kind of, they had come to me and said that potentially might happen. They still haven't come to me and said that's kind of solidified. So we'll wait and see. But as far as the minutes that I've been logging, a majority of them have been at the 5, like I mentioned the other day.
Yeah. So they came to us and said it was solidified.
Well, there you go. You guys hear it before I do.
So does that mean anything for how you play or for what might be expected of you or what you can do with your own game offensively, defensively, anything like that?
Yeah, I think they're. They want me to pick my spots depending on the matchup, but depending on how the opponent. I'm sweating here. I apologize. Depending on how the other team matches up, that'll be kind of pick apart how we play. But I think it's more so being interchangeable what we're doing on the offensive end, and then defensively just getting into passing lanes. We know we're going to be a little bit small. Rim protection might. Not be there as well as it would be with a guy like Tristan or other bigs that we have in there, but we have to find a way.
I feel like the team most improved on from Sunday night until tonight.
I think we had a hit first mentality tonight. The other night we kind of let them hit us and then we reacted, and with that we weren't able to run and push the ball like we wanted to. But tonight we did the total opposite, and we were able to play aggressive defensively and limit those guys to one shot, rebound the basketball, and get out and play.
How nice was it to see guys like Willie Reed and Becker come off the bench and have some success?
I thought it was great. We know what those guys can do. They've been in the league for a few years, and they know how to play. And I was really happy for Willie. He took 3 charges. I probably took 3 charges in 10 years. So it's cool when you have guys like that who really give themselves up for the team. And when all 15 of us do that, then we're pretty tough.
What did you most take away from this trip in Hawaii?
Just bonding, brotherhood, especially starting out going to Pearl Harbor. That was big for our team, and just trying to instill that in our team. It's us against everybody else, and we got 9+ new guys, and we got to figure this out faster than anybody else because other teams have been together. So we got to use this time to just come together and learn each other and get ready for the regular season.
What's it like playing with Milos when you guys there? How do you spell that?
Man, I love Milos. He. I don't understand what he says half the time, but I know when he passes, he's amazing, man. And he's probably one of the best playmaking, passing point guards I play with, and I play with some great guys, and he gets everybody involved in this, and it's awesome to play with him.
What was the benefit for you guys coming to this camp?
I think, it was just us being able to bond with each other. Camp in LA is cool, but there's so many other distractions. But when you come here, away from home, and it's it forces you to hang out with each other, and it's not that we need that because we really enjoy each other, and it's cool. See, y'all ain't even know what he said. Yeah, so it's cool, man. We really spent a lot of time with each other on and off the floor during this trip, and it'll continue once we get back to LA.
Is this something you want to continue in the future coming out here?
Yes. I enjoy it out here, man. I've been out here a few times with my family. But like I said, when you come out here, we got a whole another fan base out here, guys who love our team 1 through 15, and just to see those kids smile yesterday at Stevenson Middle School was cool, and I hope that we can come back.
How do you like the addition of Patrick Beverly and the
Pat.
defensive intensity?
I love Pat. It's cool, and it's weird to have to tell somebody to tone it down on defense a little bit, right. But he's so aggressive, man, on both ends of the floor, and it's contagious. His energy, his attitude is contagious, and when all 5 of us are doing that on the floor, it's great.
Some of the highlights you guys had tonight, did it feel like Lob City out there for you guys at times?
I don't think we ever lost that. I mean, we got guys who can make passes like that, and you got myself, Blake, Willie, Montrez, guys like that, rolling and able to play above the rim. It's good, and we added guys like Pat and Milos, and Austin's capable of that, and we got the young fella, Rook One, who sees all of those things too. So it's fun, man. We're gonna continue to play in the way that we've been this camp, and just try to keep it going.